Okay, so welcome back. I'm gonna try to get back into this whole posting videos regularly. I have a bunch of content that I am in the process of filming and doing that I can put together and put out. So this is gonna be first week on an insulin pump. A little bit if you're coming to me from like new to my page or new to who I am. I've been a diabetic for 13 years, almost 14 years. November will be 14 years. And I've never been on an insulin pump. I've been on a CGM for 3.5 years, 4 years now, and loved every minute of it. That'll be the next video, is a review of the CGM I used to be on. So I'm on a medtronic medtronic 770G. I was put on it on May 7th, late May 7th. And then, so a week will be tomorrow, which is the 14th. And today is not. Today's the 13th. I'm filming this on the 13th of May, just to give you a reference. So Friday night into Saturday, lots of beeping, lots of my body figuring out what was going on. Saturday was pretty good, figuring out some things, figuring out how to do stuff. Sunday was pretty good. Sunday night, I ran into the dilemma: do I have enough insulin to make it through the night, or am I gonna have to change my insulin pump at 3 a.m.? That was my big thing. Like, am I gonna have to do this at 3 a.m.? Not sure what it was gonna be like. So luckily I didn't have to do that. Luckily I changed it Monday morning. I think I had like 2 or 3 units left in my vial, and that was great. Really, really glad of that. The rest of the week went really well. Up until today. I've changed my insulin site. So I put it in on Friday, I changed it Monday, and then I changed it again today. One thing I noticed is having the insulin like physically sit out on the counter, it's not great, for 15-20 minutes to come to room temperature instead of being in your fridge made it a lot easier. On Monday I had a lot of air bubbles in my tubing that I had to try and get out, whereas today I didn't. It might just be that I'm getting better at it as well. Comes with time, sort of thing. So yeah. So I put it in. So I put it in 3 times. It's great. I love it. Suspended it a couple of times. Great. Today I had an issue. Today it was updating the CGM. So my pump and CGM are connected. It's part of a closed loop system, which I can do a whole video on closed loop systems, what they're like, the whole thing. In another video for sure if people are interested. So today it was updating. So at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock I got a notification saying please do not calibrate, CGM updating sensor takes up to 3 hours. So I was like, okay, whatever. And it wasn't giving me a number on my pump, and it wasn't giving me a number on the app, which I really was like, I'm not so sure about this. And what that's gonna look like. But I was like, okay, whatever. I'll figure it out. So I was just doing a lot of blood testing just to make sure. So 3 hours later, I think it was like 4 o'clock. Nothing. Like, it kept giving me the message. And it kept notifying me like 3 hours. 3 hours. I was like, it's 5 o'clock and you've been giving me this message for at least 4 hours at this point. So I was like, okay, whatever. So at, I don't even know, I think it was like 6:30, it gave me a notification on my phone. I wasn't really checking. My phone notification came up: suspend before low, check your insulin pump. So I checked my pump and it was like, suspend before low, you're going low. I was like, okay, whatever. For those who don't know, basically my insulin pump gives me insulin continuously. It will just stop giving me insulin, so hopefully I don't go low. I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, it's back. I had a number, I was like 5.6 or 5.5, and it was suspending. I was like, great, it's back. Keep going about my merry way, doing whatever the heck I was doing. And then I get another notification. It's been suspended for low for like 15 minutes, which normally I let it go for about 15 minutes and then start it back up, because that seems to kind of work in my favor. You're at 3.9. I was like, this is really weird. I'm not feeling this low. I'm no other symptoms that I'm low other than my insulin pump and my sensor. And I'm like, what the heck? So I go up and I grab my tester kit and my blood tester kit and I test my blood sugar. Totally fine. I'm like 6.6. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I put it into my pump and say, like, compare or whatever the heck, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, so that I have a number, and it can kind of work its way back to that. Whatever. Go about doing what I was doing. A couple months later, my phone is like binging at me, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm at 2.9. I'm like, there is no way I'm at 2.9. So I test my blood sugar again, and I'm at 6 point, I think it was like 8. So I put that in and let it go, hopefully thinking it'll get a notification back saying won't calibrate. And I'm like, why won't you calibrate? Like, that I'm in range. And it's like, wait 15 minutes, wash your hands, and test again. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll wait 15 minutes. At this point, I'm at like 9.9. I'm like, what the heck? When I tested 15 minutes later, put it in, and it's like, okay, I guess you're there. So it puts my number after calibrating the 9.9 at like 6. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just keep going about my merry way and hoping it will work. It seems to be doing okay now. Having dinner helped because it kind of follows the normal dinner pattern. But I'm like, this is really weird. So I have an appointment or a phone message thing tomorrow with my trainer. So I'm just going to ask her about like the updating and how long it should normally take, because it taking from like 1 to 6 kind of was like, what the heck? So that's for sure. Changing my insulin sites, no problem. Sometimes one of them was kind of painful, the other one not so much. Some pros that I've loved, less sticking myself with a needle severely, many things. It's really easy. It does the math for me, so I don't have to do math anymore, which is great. It's easy to correct. I'm finding it's easy. I really like it. A couple downsides, there's a cable attached to me. You can kind of see it at all times. I get it stuck on everything. I have gotten it stuck on trees, door frames, myself. I've forgotten that I'm on an insulin pump, and I will stand up and it'll pull, and it hurts. I nanny little kids, and I love them to bits, but they like to poke things, and they like to hit buttons. So I'm very grateful that this has a lock function, so it will only unlock if you press the button, which is great. So I can do a whole video on that, and things about like how the pump works and all of that, for sure, if people are interested. The only other downside that I'm seeing, and it might just be because my sensor's coming to the end, so my CGM, I need to change it tomorrow. I can't get a CGM number. It goes in and out, 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 all the time. Like, I'll look at it and it'll be like it is right now, where there's like no number. There should be like a number here, but there's no number. It'll be like this for a while, and then it'll go back, for sure. Something I really like about it, it's really hard to see down here, is their number of units of active insulin. I was the worst at figuring out what was active, what wasn't active. So I can do like a whole video on like my insulin pump and what it is and how I like it and all of that sort of thing. But I love that I'm on it finally. For sure, it was a lot of work. It was a long fight, and it was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. That is for sure. So, if you have questions, let me know. I will do a video all about my insulin pump in a couple of weeks, and all about how much I like it and what it's like, and stuff. I'm also hopefully, once I go back to work, I can give you guys also like what it's like back at work full time, as a lifeguard, and then I can do a video on like my CGM and all of that sort of stuff as well. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.